They're tiny, they're toony, and honestly, I only remember so much of the actual show. It's Tiny Toon Adventures!
Same.
I know some jokes, but that's about it.
Oh, it's been forever.
Mm-hmm.
I take it out of all of us, you have the most experience with Tiny Toon, Seeley?
Not really, just the show, not the video game.
Well, that's what I'm saying, the show.
Yeah, with the show.
They
I've
don't
seen
know
a
much
good
about the show.
What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead me or go ahead her?
Anyone.
Send in everybody!
All
So,
right.
I guess we'll start off with talking about the game that's on screen here. Obviously, Konami made a couple of Tiny Toon Adventure games. The first one was for the NES, and well, it's cute and colorful, and totally not inspired by Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
That is right. That's something we need to talk about. Is that I guess?
Oh, you're
James said
right!
is that James wanted to say that there's going to be a running trend we're going to see where
With
most
at
of
least
these
two of these
games,
games, not all of them, because yes, I am showing off at least 3 Tiny Toons games for this video.
where these games are going to more or less be. You can use it as a historical assessment of what game was popular at the time of conception.
Right.
So
Which
yeah,
is-
typical 2D platformer with I don't know what that power meter in the lower left is for.
I think that's supposed to be. It's basically this game's P meter.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, wait, listen. No, 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 no,
Don't go.
Oh no! I'm not touching that discussion. No. But anyway, yeah. So the whole gimmick behind the NES Tiny Toons game, like you start off initially as Bugs, and you also have the option to pick between 3 sidekicks. You have Plucky Duck here, who I decided to pick for this look at. You also have Dizzy Devil, who is Taz Devil purple, and I forget the name of the Sylvester lookalike. But he's
Yeah,
in
I
the
forget him too. And hello,
That's fair.
Hampton.
And you got Hampton, who's totally not Porky Pig. But, whenever you go into these bonus rooms with Hampton in them, he'll give you extra lives for every 30 carrots you have on hand.
Alright.
Not sure what he's going to do with those carrots, but, hey, that's none of our business.
He's gonna make a stew.
Probably.
But how do you make stew out of just carrots? Wouldn't that just taste a little bland?
I don't know. How do you make soup out of just bacon?
You do have a point!
Boop.
Key answer, you can't. But anyway, so yeah, each of Buster's 3 partner characters have their own distinct abilities. Like Plucky can hover the air. Oh, dear
Oh
God.
boy.
Uh-oh.
It's Elmira, run away!
All you have to do is
That's
just avoid her
the
for a
boss.
little bit.
Yeah, you just keep running.
Yeah, she's just here to be the nuisance. And after avoiding her for a while, the exit just suddenly says, "Is it okay to come out now?"
Yeah.
I don't like her.
She scares me.
Oh, jeez, even the dogs don't like her. Let her.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What's up, Seeley?
Oh,
I have
oh,
2 puppies in my room.
I
Oh
see.
no, the
hello.
puppies have invaded her room.
All the dogs are here.
You can probably hear them in the background.
Yeah, so James,
So
what was your
anyway-
experience like with this game?
I will say that with I should actually
Oh.
I should actually go back to my previous point before I got interrupted.
Sure.
Plucky
Sorry.
can Plucky can hover. Dizzy Devil, I actually don't remember what he does, but I also know that the Sylvester lookalike. Again, if you know the name, put it in the comments below. He can basically latch onto the walls,
Okay.
for what that's worth. And unfortunately, Buster here doesn't have a distinct ability himself, but that's also the reason why you want to collect those stars every now and then, because they essentially are like Plucky or Dizzy Devil. They actually have more to them than Buster, who's basically just your generic jump and run man.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. As far as my overall history with this Tiny Toon game, like we've all had our emulator high where we discover the thing and it's like, where can I take this? So I just download any other game on the face of the earth and see if they actually work out. And well, out of all of them on the NES, at least, I definitely had a bit of an interesting first impression with this one. Even though throughout every other time I try to play it, I never get too far. Mostly because, well, it gets hard. Like right around here, you see these ghosts that are just floating around, being all, "Ooh, hi there, Buster," and well, they're a little awkward to get past because Buster's own physics aren't exactly up to snuff, like compared to Mario, anyway.
Yeah, whoop.
And yeah, there's also the scientist guy who throws anvils and just,
Nuts.
yeah. This game's tough, so we're gonna move on, folks.
Alrighty.
Ouch. Yeah. Let's move on to our next game, which I think Hype will have a little more to say than I do about it.
Yeah, because out of all the I said Looney Tunes. Out of all the Tiny Toons games, this is the one that I've had the most experience with. And actually, just going into that real quick, I've had plenty of experience watching the show. I've seen a good handful of episodes and whatnot. I will say, out of all the Spielberg cartoons, I think Tiny Toons is probably, like, even though I liked it just fine, between it, Animaniacs, and Freakazoid, it was probably the one I was the least enamored with.
Makes sense.
Well, it was sort of their first go into the whole TV cartoon spiel. So I guess it was only going to come up with mixed results at first. Actually, now that I think about it, would Tasmania also count into that equation, or was that not by Spielberg?
I do know it was part of that particular, like, run of shows. I don't know how much involvement Spielberg had in it, though. But, yeah, anyway, that being said, welcome to Buster's Hidden Treasure for the Sega Genesis. Take a stab at what this game was inspired by.
Fun fact, Sonic was originally going to be a rabbit at one point.
A rabbit, an armadillo, a Teddy Roosevelt knockoff, you name it.
By the way, that rabbit concept was eventually reused to make Rice Star.
How did the bunny turn into a sun?
Because the thing is, the bunny used its ears to stretch forward, and that's what they used as the basis for Rice Star's stretchy arms.
Coincidentally, there is an enemy type in Rice Star that essentially is a bunny rabbit with elastic ears.
Okay.
But yeah, going back to Buster's Hidden Treasure here, that's essentially what it is. It's basically Sonic the Hedgehog if you were playing as Buster Bunny, and if the physics weren't quite as up to... If Buster felt like a heavier Sonic.
Yeah, that's the big problem that I have with this game. Like, as far as, like regular just getting around, like, running and whatnot's fine. It takes a little bit to get used to, like, the acceleration. The thing that usually gimps me the most is his jumping. Like, when you jump, it does that traditional platforming thing of, like, the longer you hold down the jump button, the higher you go up. The second you let go of that jump button, he just drops.
Drops harder than Mega Man on those Gutsman pillar platforms. I'm sure you know the type, Logan.
Yes.
But yeah, that perfectly sums up Buster's physics here. Though he does have a neat little slide maneuver that unfortunately is only usable when he's at his top speed, and by that point, you sort of have a hard time figuring out what's in front of you until it's too late.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But that aside, it's not. Even though it's clearly not going to beat Sonic anytime soon, it's got some nice production values. Honestly, I'd say all the Tiny Toons games that Konami made have some pretty good production values. Like, honestly, tell me you wouldn't want to play a game like this if you didn't know the physics were so jank.
Yeah. How about you, Jordan? Have you had any experience with the Tiny Toons? Or any of the Spielberg cartoons?
As far as Tiny Toons go, I haven't had a whole lot of experience, or at least I don't remember, because I remember watching this, a long, long time ago, but I don't think I watched it as much as, say, the regular Bugs Bunny, or Animaniacs,
Hold it!
What?
We gotta call in an ally.
Yep.
They do.
Come on, you big dodo.
Yep.
I'm coming.
It's like for every 50 carrots you collect, you get an ally to help you. It's basically a screen nuke.
Ah, okay. But anyway, going back a little bit, so I haven't really, had too much experience with Tiny Toons. The one thing I can remember, which was a little more recent, was, I remember seeing a clip of this parody that they did from The Nightmare Before Christmas with the pumpkin guy. And
It was voiced by Frank Welker in that parody.
That was Frank Welker?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. He has a really good singing voice. But anyway, I was about to say, I remember him just, going in through the hinterlands, finding the door to the Looney Tunes logo, and that's when the theme song commenced, and then by the end of it, the door just dropped, or not the door, it's the logo itself just drops down on him, and he goes how long until Mother's Day?
What about Taz?
Dizzy, actually.
Dizzy!
And that's the interesting thing about this game. The bosses are pretty much all of Buster's friends being mind-controlled. However, you don't actually fight the characters themselves. The person you want to focus your attacks on is a scientist guy that's, just running around and whatnot, which I'll admit is pretty clever for a platformer boss.
Yeah,
I can't think of too
your
many
friend
other games
becomes...
where...
Oh, jeez.
I don't remember too many actual platforming bosses at that time. Have like a boss fight that you're actually not supposed to fight, but you're supposed to take out the thing that's making them this way.
Right. It's more treated like a stage hazard.
Right.
What was the name of the scientist, Celia? I forget.
Don't remember.
I don't remember either.
He feels like that one guy that they tried to push around this time, but then people just forget about him because, well, who are you gonna remember most? The characters that look like the actual Looney Tunes, or the random schmo with the gadgets and goo gads that just looks like your typical evil professor with big ass lips.
Off you go. Doink.
There we go, Dizzy.
Dizzy brainwashed by that scientist. Dizzy okay now. Dizzy gangbuster body.
Yo, welcome, Dizzy Devil. I hope no one else runs into that mad scientist.
Sorry, folks, that's the best Charlie Adler impression I got.
Dizzy, are you okay with your eyes? Don't worry, they've been like that since birth.
Yeah. Oh, actually, interesting thing about like some of the voice work in Tiny Toons. So, actually, I'll wait till James introduces this
Here
first.
is the game that I probably have the most experience with, which is probably not a whole lot, but it's something.
That's fair. So, why don't you tell us what this game is, Logan?
This game is a nightmare.
I'll take it.
In some regard, depending on how you play it, it's Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster Bus.
That logo looks
It
weird.
was available on Super Nintendo, which is what I played it on. Has a bit of a steep learning curve in terms of like what the game expects you to do. Like this is the kind of game where like you need to like read up before you play.
Yeah, this is one of those games where if you don't have the manual, you're gonna have a bit of a bad time.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, to the game's credit, it does have a mini tutorial at the very beginning where they just tell you what button to do, what. Although there are some technical abilities that you'll need to know, because otherwise you're just going to be fumbling into things left and right.
Yeah, something
for
like that.
class.
Yes. Off to the Acme University.
Be careful, Buster. Some escaped animals have gone on. Oh, wait, have they gone into the school building?
They
Okay.
have.
How ironic, because they themselves are animals.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alrighty. So anyway, welcome to Buster Busts Loose. Your main gimmick, of course, is that, well, he has a cute little flip kick that can pretty much take out anything in one shot. I'd say almost everything. I mean, it does a pretty good job against these rats that just want to give Buster a bad time. But
Such a smoothly cute-looking game.
yeah, like I
Look at
said, the
him
production values for the games
prancing
are generally pretty good.
Okay.
But of course, that's not the main gimmick behind Buster Busts Loose. Your main gimmick is dashing.
Doop.
And it's all fueled by a J Frog reject. No, it's fueled by a dash meter on the top left corner of the screen where, like, it's all filled up. You can pretty much dash for a long period of time, and you're going to need this for the sake of making some really tight jumps.
But yeah, this
And
is your
to run up
main.
walls.
Oh, jeez.
And to take out those rats in the air.
Oop.
Doesn't work against anvils, though.
Okay. So yeah, you need to gather these. You need to gather the little trophies to continue keeping your dash meter at full power.
Yep.
I see.
And you do want to be wary, though, because this dash may be pretty crazy, but it does not entirely work as an offensive mechanism. If you want to attack enemies with it, you do need to either jump or duck, or slide. Otherwise, you're basically just nothing more than a wandering target.
Yep.
Okay. Oh jeez.
But of course, this game will have the occasional thing that'll help you out, like those hollow carrot things that increase your health.
Oop.
And
These rats.
I don't know, like, I noticed that's something with these games. Like, they always have these rats as, like, the generic enemy type, even though I want to assume in the show they're not too terribly common of, like, a background character.
This guy gave
this
me
thing-
trouble. This guy gave me trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has a dash that's better than yours, but you can easily deal with him with a flip kick.
I'm back.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
Back.
What did I miss?
Just
beating up the
old
off-screen
Shout out
dog.
the big dog.
I see.
You can either kick him or slide into him. And there we go.
Yay.
Pretty.
Yep.
I don't know why they I'm not sure how much of a celebrity Hampton is in the art scene, but I never would have expected someone to actually make a really nice. Or then again, he might have made it himself.
Well, speaking of Hampton, that was something that I was going to bring up, like the voice cast for Tiny Toons, which I do like. Just gonna talk over this anyway. First off, Hampton, since he was just brought up, he was voiced by Don Messick, who was the very original voice actor for Scooby-Doo. And another one that I find really interesting is Plucky Duck himself. He was voiced by the late Joe Lasky, who was so good at voicing Plucky, he eventually went on to become, for a good number of years, the voice for Daffy Duck.
Oh,
Nice.
And outside of Mel Blanc is honestly the one Daffy Duck I think back to as far as voice acting is concerned. So,
Same.
Okay, so we have one game where we face Dizzy Devil as a boss. Now we have to face him as a boss again, only this time he's just being a straight up jerk ass.
he's too hungry.
He's on a sugar rush.
Oh, boy.
Oh gosh, what happens if he reaches the top? What happens if he reaches the top of the screen?
It just ends at the top of the screen. Like there's really nothing more than that.
Oops.
There is a ceiling, as far as I know. But yeah, your main gimmick here is to just feed him a bunch of food until he passes out. And to do so, you literally have to play Mario Brothers. Just hop on these treadmills and bop the food into his gullet.
Yep.
It's really not that hard as you're seeing here. It's just a pattern
really
you gotta follow.
Oh boy.
You just need to be careful because Dizzy Devil can break those treadmills with his spinning.
And you need to be behind him or beneath him for this to work.
Right. So yeah, just be wary of that. And I think we're done.
There you are.
So yay, we saved the kitchen by literally having him eat everything in the kitchen.
Divvy fall. Divvy go to sleep.
Thank you, frickin'. Yeah. Thanks, Willie.
Hampton, everything's okay. Dizzy fell asleep. Oh, look at him.
He ate all the food in the kitchen.
Well, can't win them all.
And so, now that that stage is beat, we come to our first, and for this video only, bonus Wheels of Games.
Yay!
Please spin the wheel to select a game.
Which game will it be? Spin the wheel.
Also, one more VO thing that I think Jordan might get a kick out of, if she didn't know it already. The voice actress for Babs went on to voice Dot in Animaniacs.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Good old Tress McNeil pretty much voices everything known to the cartoon universe.
The game
I
is...
saw-
Yeah, pretty much. Just okay. So anyway, for this look at, we were able to get Furball. Okay, that's its name. Furball's mini game, where it's basically just tennis.
It's paddle. It's racquetball or whatever.
Racquetball. Okay, so we're basically just playing tennis with ourselves.
Yep.
He looks so
Yep.
much like Tom from behind.
Yes, he does.
Well, it's just probably the color scheme.
Yeah, it's the color scheme. And I love that little face he makes whenever you swing the bats. Like it looks like he's fucking guilty for something.
Yeah. Did I do that?
No, I did.
I know. I don't think he has a voice, but I'd just be all.
No, I didn't eat that Tweety Bud. What gave
Yeah,
you that
I think-
idea?
I think it's
Yeah,
kind
just
of
go-
interesting because I think Furball is probably one of the few that are kind of few Tiny Toons that are actually mute, which is kind of ironic because Sylvester was almost never mute.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
he always had something to say, whether anyone wanted to hear it or not.
Unless he was
Yeah.
Porky's pet, in which case he was always quiet during those shorts where it was like those shorts where he was with Porky, and they were always going through like these haunted areas
Or out in space.
or in space.
Orange Smash.
I mean, I haven't watched that short in a while, but that's like the one thing I immediately remember. Though I think that's mostly has to do with that Cartoon Network Grooves where they made a straight up Porky Pig remix.
Probably. I almost forget that they made grooves. Like the one groove that they made of how Hanna-Barbera always loops their backgrounds.
Walking in circles.
My main thing that I remembered seeing musical-wise was a cover of Istanbul, Not Constantinople by They Might Be Giants with starring the not Daffy Duck,
Plucky.
Plucky.
Did Tiny Toons ever do that that all annoying gimmick from like the '90s where it always like every episode always ends with the musical?
I don't think every episode did, but I do know like they did do like musicals like every now and then.
Okay, so they at least varied them out. That's better than nothing. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our look at on all the Tiny Toons games from the 90s, or at least a good chunk of them that were actual platformers. And yes, I know, 2 of them we did as look-ats before, but honestly, I feel like those haven't, especially with Buster Bust Loose, I don't think that has aged that well, because like that was back when I forgot when oh right, there actually are methods to attack enemies with the dash. But that aside, hope you all enjoyed. I'm JamesmanXtreme.
I'm Lucky Jack 20.
Hi, I'm Princess Lita.
Join the Cat 11.
That's all, folks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You thought I was gonna say,